Good morning, evening, friends. Whenever you're watching this video, this is Tracy Brown, your somatic nutrition therapist and attuned eating expert. And we are going to talk a little bit this week around how our human minds do this, but we like to have everything, we like to know how things are going to turn out, right? We like to not exactly control outcomes with our mind, but we do try to figure things out and make it make sense up here so that we can manage how we feel down here. And I think that's a pretty common human strategy, to want to know what's going to happen and to sometimes even control feelings. So I want to talk this week more specifically about how we often come to recovery, whether it's from any kind of eating disorder, or you're coming at this because you've been chronically dieting and you're sick of it and it's not really getting you what you want anyway. Even when you got the thinner body, you still had life to deal with. So it's like, oh, it's not this magical Disney movie that diet culture promised me it would be once I got a smaller body. I still have feelings and life and relationships to deal with. So that being said, we probably can't do this whole recovery thing from the angle in which we got there, which is repression and denial and cognitive dissonance. It's just not going to work, right? So it's really common, though, that we do this. We try to figure out what's going to happen and then manage everything. And so my suggestion for us is to recognize that it's a both and. This is a faith walk. It's a feeling through process. And of course, we're going to have all kinds of supports. And I'm going to use the word from Deb Dana called glimmers. We need lots of glimmers of like joy and levity and play as we do this work, but it takes some safety to be able to do that. So I think it's really important to recognize that we are going to bring intentionality to this work as well, which means, okay, let's say that you decided to get some support. You recognize that there's some things that you're going to have to adjust, meaning take the time to really settle in your body and get clear about what you'd like to eat. And your head's going to get really freaked out by that, because you're going to still have all those diet rules. So some of the cognitive tools that we'll use is getting education, right? That's why people read the books and listen to the podcast and watch these videos, is that you're trying to get some education about what else exists out there. What other things can I try? That's wonderful. But the next step is that, not the next step, but also the piece of that is, okay, what intentions, like what is my goal here? Well, the goal really is to be free, okay? So if the goal is freedom, to just food be food, to put on your clothes in the morning, to know who you are inside and feel solid about that, versus feel like your self-worth is on these shifting sands of like what people think about us, there is some intentionality around getting clear about who we are, all right? And those are things that you can't think your way to. Those are things that you have to sit back and like, okay, so what are my values, and how do I want people to see me as? Well, I want people to see me as the kind, compassionate person I am, and so I can't try to get people who aren't in that space who care more about what bodies look like. I'm probably not going to get that milk from them. I'm going to have to focus more on people who do see me accurately and not just as a body. So there's a lot of intentionality about how you spend your time, who you spend your time with, all those things. And the other part of this is that a lot of times, again, we try to turn hunger fullness work into a plan, right? Like if I do the hunger fullness diet, I'll be healthier, I'll lose weight. It's like, that's not the point. The point is freedom. And so we have to practice freedom strategies, right? Which is eating what you want when you're hungry, and recognizing that you're learning. You're not trying to get something right or perfect, because eventually you will eat mostly from hunger and fullness. You will want a variety of food, but that's down the road. You can't have that month two. The beginning stages, it's stages. It's not really a plan to get to some kind of outcome in 2 weeks. So I know that I talked a lot about a lot of topics in this one short little video real quick, but just take a moment today to think about, and if you're really advanced watching this, it's like, take a moment to reflect on, was it the concepts that got you to more freedom, or was it okay, how am I doing? How am I feeling right now? What do I need to help me be as free as I can? Within the container of, it's not a free for all. We do have to like adult and get our food and somewhat have like a little bit of a plan for the day. Meaning if you have to work, you don't just kind of hope for the best that you'll get fed. You do plan to get fed. And that's the difference. With dieting, it's like you're planning to undereat and crossing your fingers you don't binge today, which we know doesn't work. Or we're like, I'm planning to eat so that I get satisfied and I learn what those cues feel like, and I'm planning to eat so I have a least chance of binging out of just deprivation mentally and physically. If you are someone who struggles with more emotional eating, it's like, I know that my plan really needs to be around compassion for, I'm trying to eat to feel something or feel something different. And so can I slow down? What is it that I feel is a missing that I would need for support emotionally? What is it that feels too much that I'm trying to change with my binging? And, can we address that? That's your only plan, really, is to work on that on a daily basis. So take some time to reflect. If anybody is feeling brave enough to put any comments below about what has helped them feel like there's some sense of something here, some containment, but without being too rigid, I would love to hear about that in the comments below. So if you feel more safe commenting to me privately, go for it. That would be great. But this space is here for you to do some settling so you can get clarity about what's next for you, instead of trying to turn what you're doing into some kind of plan like diet culture to get it right, and then there's nothing left. This is really a becoming process, not a getting it right process. So thank you so much for watching. If you need another space to talk more about this, we also have our peaceful eating community. I'll put the link below so you can consider if this might be the next step to what's missing for you as well. So thanks so much for watching.